what Fred Rogers had tapped into was our battered belief that every kid is worth saving, no matter where they live, the challenges they face, who their parents are, where they come from, their educational background, their race, their gender, or their access to people with power or wealth. In a climate that increasingly seemed to glorify shoving folks off the life raft, Fred Rogers affirmed that every kid is worth saving. In his quiet voice, he made that simple proposition visible and compelling. So has Carol Goss, this year's Fred Rogers Leadership Award honoree. She's worked in philanthropy for 20 years in both California and Michigan. She has been a strong supporter of GCYF. But most of all, she has insisted that the children of Detroit are worth saving. In contrast to the many middle-class Detroiters who fled over the past 40 years, Carol's presidency at the Skillman Foundation began with training her eye on the kids who didn't or couldn't move, the left behind and the left out. And rather than thinking about these kids in isolation, she drew on the past 20 years of philanthropic experience with rebuilding neighborhoods, reforming schools, and providing opportunity. She believed that the resources of the Skillman Foundation could strengthen and support all those who believed with her that kids in 6 of the most distressed Detroit neighborhoods were indeed worth saving. From neighborhood leaders to colleague funders to government agencies to parents and professionals. In some ways, you can recognize strong leadership by the kinds of folk who are attracted to the vision. From the Skillman board to program director Tanya Allen to a program staff that has signed on to do whatever it takes to make the initiative work, to neighborhood leaders who are placing their faith in the Skillman initiatives. Carol Goss has done what's necessary to build the team, not by force, but by deftly spreading responsibility and credit for the work. As Skillman says, we are not alone. That also reminds us of Fred Rogers, the idea that we exist in a human community where we rise and fall together. Since 2003, GCYF has annually given the Fred Rogers Leadership Award in Philanthropy for children, youth, and families in memory of Fred Rogers, creator and star of the longest-running program on public television, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Fred Rogers devoted his entire career to communicating with and for children. Mr. Rogers' wife, Joanne Rogers, has graciously allowed GCYF the privilege of naming this annual award in his honor. Each year, the award recognizes outstanding contributions by philanthropic staff and trustees on behalf of children, youth, and families. On behalf of the 2009 Fred Rogers Leadership Award Selection Committee, it is my great pleasure to present this year's award to President and CEO of the Skillman Foundation, Carol Goss. The award includes a $5,000 donation to a charity of her choice, and she has chosen the Don Bosco Hall Community Center, Robert, help me, a nonprofit working in one of the 6 neighborhoods. We honor Carol for the work she has done throughout her career, for her work as president of Skillman, and for shining a bright light on the idea that all kids are worth saving.